Okay, it has started.
It's 6 o'clock, so we will call this meeting to order. Go start with roll call.
All right. Chair Dina Phelps,
Here.
Vice Chair Maggie Burns,
Present.
Luke Curtis. Kyle Davenport is not present. Alex Day, Marie Hoda, Edie Hughes,
Here.
Amy Wilson,
Here.
and we have our new City Council liaison, Jack Bethel.
Present.
Welcome. And our new Englewood School liaison, Erica Lavove.
L.
Okay, welcome. Excuse, we have Elizabeth Copps. Staff, we have Director of Parks and Recreation, Christina Underhill, Library Director, Rachel Fuel, and Library Operations Manager, Carrie Watson.
All right, so we have a couple of new faces. We'll do introductions around the room. So we'll just do your name, your pronouns, maybe how long you've been on the board. And neighborhood. I never remember my so I don't. Starting.
Hoda. I live in Bellevue Park neighborhood. I've been on the board since 2019 and I use she, her pronouns. Hi everyone, Erica Elva, first meeting along with Jack. Hi Jack. I'm your new Englewood Schools liaison, as you said. I've lived in Englewood for about 20 years. I'm in the Jason Park neighborhood.
Hi, everybody. I'm Luke Curtis. I've been on the board for about a year and a half now. And I live in the Whittier neighborhood and been in Englewood for about 6 years.
I'm Amy Wilson. I've been on, my pronouns are she, her, and I've been on the board for the longest, but I don't know how long.
Longer than 29.
A long time. I live in a police station. I think it's called Scarrett's, but I'm not 100% sure. And I lived in Englewood a long time too. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Day. My pronouns are they, them. I've been on the board almost a year now. I think it's a year in February. And I'm either Hawthorne. I think I'm Hawthorne. So I'm gonna say.
My name is Dina Phelps. My pronouns are she, her. I've been on the board for 4 years now, I think. I lived in Englewood for 6 years, and I'm in Strayers Broadway Heights. The reason I can never remember is because I always just assume my fate's Logan, but I'm just over it.
Hi, I'm Edie Hughes. I live in I think the hospital district where I think that's your district.
Part of it is.
Part of it is, yeah. And, my pronouns are same as yours, whatever.
She, her.
She, her. I've lived in Englewood for 4 years.
Hello, my name is Jack Bethel. I prefer he, him. I live in Forest Hill neighborhood. I also usually assume it's Base Logan, but there's still a pocket. So still figuring that out, but they didn't put a sign in my yard. So I'm like right up the corner. So oh, it's here. I don't know. I've lived in Englewood for 5 years. This is my first meeting. Very excited to be here.
Nice.
Come on.
I'm Carrie Watson, she, her. I live in Kimballcroft Park, which is one of the teeny tiniest neighborhoods of Englewood. So I live in Englewood and I work at the library. So I've been here at the library for like almost 5 now, and in different roles, but most career.
I'm Christina Underhill. I'm the Director of Parks, Rec, Library, and Golf. She, her. I've been with the city since 2020. In fact, on the 20th, it'll be my 6th year actually here. Love the city. It's great things. I live in Englewood, but I love Englewood someday.
I'm Rachel Fuel and I'm the library director. I've been the library director here since end of February last year, so almost a year. And I have about 25 years in libraries. So my most recent experience before this was from Denver Public Library. I live in Denver also, so she, her pronouns.
Debbie Severa, she, her. I, I've lived in Inglewood my whole life. I've worked for the city 35 years, almost my whole life, more than that. And like Maria or Marie, we have the easy neighborhood, Bellevue Park.
Maggie.
Hi, friends. Sorry, I'm not there. We're running through some RSV over here. I am Maggie Burns, she, her pronouns. I've been on the board as long as Dina has, so 4 years now. And my husband and I just bought a house in, I think it's Mansfield Heights, just west of the high school.
Mhm.
Thanks, everybody, and welcome to our newcomers. Okay, approval of minutes. And I think Debbie's going to pull everything up on the screen as well for tonight, so we can see it up there, or if you pull it up on your phone. Approved minutes.
I'll second that.
All of those in favor of approving last month's minutes, say aye. Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed, say nay. Approval of the minutes have passed. I don't believe we have any public comment.
Correct.
So we'll go ahead and move on to the statistical report.
Okay, should we do our presentation and then share
Do that.
the full statistical report? So we have our last year's format of the statistical report is included in the packet. And Carrie and I have been trying to rework some things so that you have some better data information, so to see what we're up to. So we were going to go through our slide deck and then have Carrie share with you our changes that we're making to the statistical report. So if that's okay with everybody, could we run it that way?
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Debbie.
Presentation.
All right.
Oh, no.
I goofed it up.
The PowerPoint one?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. Just popped it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we wanted to rework the statistics and we wanted to just rework the way that we're delivering information. So it's a little bit more organized, a little bit more meaningful to you all, and really trying to track us through our strategic plan progress and then our other plans that we have throughout the year. So we're trying it this way and we'll see how everybody likes it, or if you don't, let us know. Oh, is it not going to be friendly to you?
I'll just do this.
Okay. So kind of thought we could start with this type of agenda so that each month we're delivering this kind of information to you. So we'll have a kind of clear reminder that we're always going to bring you a strategic plan. We'll always share with you our monthly theme and calls to action associated with that. We are going to be inviting library staff to a handful of our meetings this year. And then really want to make sure that you are aware of library happenings in the news. There's a lot happening nationally and regionally. So just keeping that on your radar. I have a little bit of a preview for what I would like to do for new library board members, a little bit of orientation for folks. And then, like I said, we'll kick it to Carrie to share more about our statistical report changes. So just as a reminder, here's our strategic plan. We'll be talking through our mission, vision, values, the library values, and then our key performance indicators. And as a reminder, it's going to come up a couple times in this slide deck. Our big goal this year from the strategic plan is empowering our staff and improving organizational effectiveness. We're really trying to set that foundation for our team. So we are also within a couple different structures, right? So we are within the city and county, or city and county, I say that sometimes, as I was, we are within the city of Inglewood. And so we are also really trying to live out those values as well. So that's kind of our overarching umbrella. Next. We have our strategic plan for the library. And as you know, and for our new members, we went through this process through 2024 and then into 2025 and are really kicking it off this year as our first year of the strategic plan. So all of that should be familiar information to most people in the room. But again, we're doing that empower staff goal just so that we can set ourselves up for those other goals that are going to take that foundation of our staff and the training we're providing this year to really excel at those other goals that we're going to leap into in the coming years. We're also within library profession, so we look to the American Library Association, the ALA, for our profession's core values. And so a lot of our work is nested beneath that as well. And then we also have Colorado Public Library standards that we're really looking to as a guide to help us shape all of our services that we're providing, all of our programming. We're really trying to live within those bounds as well. So for 2026, we have some key performance indicators, KPIs, you're going to hear that sometimes. But we're really trying to establish good baselines for our data this year. We're working with our IT team to put together that data dashboard. It's complex, and so it's taken us a while. We have monthly meetings with them to get that rolling. So again, just really trying to establish a baseline. We're looking at about a 5% increase as goals for most of these things, and we're looking at 10% increase for the digital circulation. So and really a focus on getting that good data and getting it established in our dashboard so that we can retrieve that regularly and make good decisions with it. Big update for you all about January and our plans related to our strategic plan goal. Our leadership team has been working with our finance team. We've done one training and we've got a couple more coming up. So we really want to get very good at our budget and working with our finance team to make sure we're always on track. We have our outreach tracker in the staff hallway. So if anyone is interested, you can see that. We wanted a really fun and visual way for our staff to track all the time they're spending outside the library, pulling people to come in. So it's really exciting. And I think this will be a really fun thing for us to do this year. Our circulation team is working on a privacy policy and really reviewing Colorado library law with the team. Youth Services is focused on their digital cleanup so that they have some good documentation. And they're also developing robust checklists for opening and closing, and then their cleaning task list. They've got a lot of cleaning to do. Today was shaving cream day, so it was on full evidence today. The collection services team are beginning to stand up processes so that they can order books for new people in the room. Our primary vendor went out of business toward the end of last year. And so we have been transferring vendors and then onboarding new staff member. So there's a lot of work to do to get that department up and running again. We are also just about to post our full-time collection development librarian job. I think she's going to call it acquisitions librarian. So watch for that. That'll be posted pretty soon. The adult services team is working on all of our databases and ensuring that our staff have been trained so that they can refer our patrons to that information. And then we're working on a new model for our adult programming. In the last few weeks also, we've established our in-service days for this year. So February 6th is our next one. You are all welcome to join in any of that if you'd like. May 8th is our next, and then October 23rd, and that's going to be associated with that maintenance week closure. A preview for our monthly themes this year. We are within hobbies and crafts. We've been really promoting a lot. You'll see some of that information if you're within the city of Englewood at all in the junction that's posted everywhere. So we're really also highlighting this to our city staff so that they can also promote and take advantage of library services. So all of the italicized months are months we have people from our team scheduled to come and update you on their department and their strategic plan progress. And then sometimes it's a special month that they can tell you a little bit about the work that they're doing associated with that monthly theme. We also want to highlight for you all calls to action. So things that you can do to participate in the work that we're doing in the library. We always have volunteer opportunities. Feel free to check in with our circulation desk if that's something you're interested in. Tons of programs and activities, obviously always on our calendar. But for this month specifically, we did have a January 10th program combating seasonal affective disorder. internet basics. We are closed on Monday, so big reminder to everybody. And then these are the databases we've been highlighting. So if you're a car repair person or a craft and hobby person, we've got a lot of information for you to take advantage of. In February, because we meet well within the month. So I want to let you know what's coming up. Yeah, we'll be closed on the 6th for that in-service day, as I mentioned. I think a really fun program is going to be our Pages and Pastries program on the 7th. Then we have a fun sewing craft on the 14th. Families are invited to join us on the 20th for a Mad Hatter Tea Party, which will be probably bananas. And I think they're hosting it in the community room upstairs. And then if you're a history buff, join us on the 24th for the Historic Preservation Society program. They also do an evening program that's not in the library that they host elsewhere. So preview for you for new members, and maybe the 2 folks here wanna guinea pig this little program with me. I don't know. But I thought what I'd offer is hosting an hour-long meeting so that we could talk about some of these foundational documents for libraries, and then walk around and meet some of the staff and see the space that we work within. I do think it's probably like an hour, and then there are links provided to all this information in the slide deck. So feel free to peruse in your free time. And then again, libraries in the news, just want to keep you abreast of things that are going on and how it's relating to us. So again, our book vendor, out of business. There was also a huge report that was published from the Government Accounting Office about just nationally, libraries are in poor condition and in need of a lot of maintenance. So we were not included in that report, but our conditions are very similar to what other libraries are experiencing across the country. And then just the state of the situation across the country in terms of some of the censorship issues, and then just other impacts that a lot of these federal budget cuts are kind of rolling out into various libraries. We're not seeing direct impacts yet, but we do know our neighbors are, and we just want to maintain awareness around that. And that's it. Carrie, do you want to talk about statistical report now?
Yeah, do you wanna go over a week, Debbie, if you wanna send it to the November and December one, just in case anybody has any questions about staff. And then I'll kind of preview the new one.
Okay, there's November. That works.
Before we do statistical report, is there any questions about anything Rachel already said?
A couple of items.
First question, Rachel, I may have asked this in November, you'll have to forgive me. Do you have a benchmark for what the current percentage of Englewood residents with a library card is? Because you said you're looking to increase by 5%.
We do have that. Where is that though?
I know the total number of patrons registered,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Englewood has a population of about 35,000.
Yes.
My brain guessed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and one thing that we're also, so right now, the way that data number is pulled includes expired and unexpired cards. And what we're really going to focus on in the new year is just the unexpired cards. Just because we have a feeling that is probably a fairly inflated number. Because we have to keep library card records for 3 years after they expire. So obviously, lots of people, they expire and they come back in as young, but sometimes they kind of stay in our system unresurrected for a long time. So that's why we keep saying too, we're trying to get good baselines for this year, because we've never even been able to pull a number of even just the unexpired cards.
Yeah.
So yes, 10,000 out of 35,000 is how many we currently have. But we know that number includes both expired and unexpired numbers. So our new data dashboard that's being built is going to just count the unexpired. That's for JSI. So you'll see the numbers begin to dramatically change in a way that it'll be hard to compare apples and oranges from 25 to 26. But hopefully, as we continue to care for this data better, then we'll be able to compare it better. So not even quite have a benchmark yet, because we don't even know what our.
How do you know what an expired?
So, right now, the cards stay active for 3 years after you register it. And then the system rolls it over into to an expired state. And the patrons get emails before they expire, that it's about to expire, and then they can come in or call the library and they'll reactivate it. So it's basically almost like a wellness check, like, you still live here, you still use our library, even if you don't live here, do you still want to use the card? And then we just re-up it for another 3 years. But the system kind of defaults to check on everybody every 3 years.
Is that regardless of usage?
Yes, unfortunately, the ILS that we use is not quite sophisticated enough to re-up it, every time space. We would love that. That'd make our jobs a lot easier.
I just had to renew mine last year, so I do use it, so.
And did you have another one?
I did, actually, it was more of a suggestion for the new board member orientation. When I joined, I got this beautiful binder. And it has a section with the charter of the public library board, and it also has a section for the handbook for members of boards and commissions. And I was just thinking that might be nice to do like a high level overview with new members when you do the orientation.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
On the statistics, those are the November, you'll notice the November 24 are missing. If you'll remember last year, there was just a lot of change in leadership at this time, and so those stats weren't collected. But if you switch to the December slides, it has all of our year-end data. So I know might be tricky to see it on the screen, but hopefully you all had a chance to review it in the packet that Debbie sent. But all of those December stats or the year-end stats. I mean, one of the things that I'm most excited about is the work that the communications team in the city has done with all of our social media this year. I mean, it's like tripled, if I remember correctly, with our Facebook and Instagram views throughout the year. And I think that there is a direct correlation in just the team that's been working on that on the city side, and just the greater attention to detail, the expertise they bring to our social media. And she, the gal that mostly works at SIP, sends me updates each month. And she always tells me which posts went viral, which ones people care about. And so that's really exciting. And I love watching that number grow. And then as Rachel mentioned, our circulation numbers kind of just stabilized a little bit this year or dropped. And so those are the numbers we're most concerned about, right? Because we're here for the books. And so we'd like to increase those, and we think getting this new team in the back is really going to change the way our collection is. So, and then Debbie, if you want to switch it to the new one, have a preview of what the new stats will look like.
While we get there, can I ask a clarifying question?
Mhm.
The new staff member,
Yes.
can you briefly explain how that area is changing?
Yeah, we have not really changed the staffing
Okay.
in what used to be called tech services.
Got it.
We're calling it collection services now for
Okay.
greater emphasis on the collection and how that works within our community. So have recently hired, mid-December, we hired Monica Waschenberger,
Yep.
who's the supervisor in that, on that team now.
Okay.
So she's been really trying to rebuild some of that
So her title is collection services supervisor.
collection services
Got it.
supervisor. And then we'll be hiring a librarian. Also, that was a vacant position, so there'll be a librarian to support that team, moving the duties around a little bit, which is why I was unclear if it's gonna be a collection development librarian or an acquisitions. I think, yeah,
Great.
wants it to be a little bit more flexible in their duties.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So Debbie has there up on the screen, one of the big changes you'll notice our first thing is that you'll be able to compare month to month, all on the same chart, which I'm very excited about. So we'll be able to track, this means too, we'll be able to use digital tools to create graphics to show whether it's a line graph or a graph to kind of show changes and trends with the information that we're able to pull from this chart. So I'm really excited about that. The other thing I'm very excited about is it will calculate all the math for me. And collect, do all the math for me and collect those year-end stats all on the same sheet. I have all those KPIs that I mentioned, or it's hard to tell on the screen, but they're bolded on the chart itself, which are those total physical visitors, total Inglewood patrons registered, unexpired, the physical total circulation, the digital total circulation, and the attendance to in-house programs. You'll also notice there's a few things I've just added throughout based on y'all's feedback this past year and just kind of things we anticipate with years to come. I added things like not just days of service, but hours of service, just because I think that might be an interesting thing to talk about this year. With the reopening of the north door, I've added spot for us to keep up with the garage side visitors and the north side visitors, just to at least give it a year for us to see what that data kind of looks like. I also broke out the teen and the adult volunteers, just because I know that gets more important in the summertime. I added the digital database usage, just because that's nothing that we've really no data point that we've ever given you before, but it's actually something that's really well utilized within the library. So I want us to be able to celebrate that, and it's something that we do spend a lot of our budget on. And so I think it's important to talk about the usage of those databases. And then down towards the bottom, I put some lines just to give y'all some budget information about our general library budget and the